gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, yeah. You gotta love it. Look, this is what I mean by you gotta love it. What do I love about all this? Life moves pretty fast. And if you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you miss it. Now, that's never been the case here. Our scenario has always been something different, you know? My scenario has always been make it count. Make it count for something, you know? Make it mean something. So I often didn't make any mistakes or kept my mistakes very small. You know, that's what I would always do. Keep my focus sharp, my mistakes small, and keep climbing. Now, the problems that started to ensue came in when other people decided that they were going to tell my story for me. And it's not going how they planned it. They tried to do takedown methods. They tried spamming. They tried to do everything in the possibility, in the realm of possibility, to try to stop you guys from seeing what you wanted to see. They tried to stop you guys from seeing Kwame Brown Bust Life. They tried to stop you from seeing Carcino for Life. They didn't put us in a shadow band. They didn't put us in an area which would basically torpedo our views. Taper us down. Shield us away from the people that want to see us. Now you might ask yourself why. Why is that? Because you're dealing with people who don't usually do this on an everyday. And that's fine. By me, that's fine. I get it. You know. And they just don't know how to compete. When doing all of this, something I didn't know was that Kwame Brown was so driven in his dedication to doing it. Like when he came to YouTube, I did not know his work ethic would be this strong. This man would go on a dig site, start working on projects, houses, building them up, walk his dog, do all of this, and still find time to outwork almost every YouTuber that's out there. That makes no sense to me. Like how that's even possible that KB can outwork these people. I'm like, how's he outworking y'all? So I know I'm not crazy when I'm sitting there and I know this thing could burn you out. I'm the prime example of somebody that's getting burnt out. Like burning the candle at both ends. You know, you're just tired. You don't even feel like doing it. Then I understand when you're at a run. And when you're on a run, it's like every day is so much to cover. You just putting up shots till you don't even have room to even talk about anything else. And that's when the good days are there, because you're ready to compete. You're ready to meet that energy, that wall. But now it's like, whatever. You know, like whatever's going, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. So you're not really as enthused as you would normally be coming from someplace else. So when Kwame hit, it was like a mega bomb. That even when his numbers and they came with the sabotage, it didn't go how they planned. They thought he would run away and run back and start jumping on other people's podcast shows. Just start doing that and run off YouTube. Nah, they didn't run him off. He's still there. Still contributing. Still putting the work in. And he's got multiple channels. But he's putting the work in. Constantly. So the question I have to ask people is, why would it be okay to get rid of that? That kind of work ethic. That kind of work ethic is something that you can't buy with money. You can't find on the streets. That's the kind of work ethic you want working for you. There are so many different, right? That's like asking somebody, what's your favorite chewing gum? It's like so random. No, none of it went like how they planned. See, they planned to get rid of me years ago. They thought by doing all the sabotaging things they were doing to my channel, I would run away. That only fueled my fire to keep going. A lot of tedious BS we got to do now, and I feel like a lot of that is accustomed to what we have been presented with. And because what we've been presented with, we've had no choice but to embrace the BS that comes along with that territory. There's so much people don't understand, and because they don't understand it, they're afraid to challenge it. They just want to stay in their lanes and do what they do 24 hours a day, and they feel the little bit that they do is enough. They feel like, I just did this much, that should be enough. Woo, I'm done. They think that's what it is. They think all they have to do is do a little bit, and that's it. They're done. They don't need to do anything else. Why would they? Because who's asking them to do anything? Who's suggesting to them that they need to step it up? There's no boss. There's nobody making them. You'll be surprised. People do work at their job because their boss tell them to do it. I swear to God. I swear to God. People do work at their job because their boss tell them what to do. They can't get motivated unless somebody is pushing them to do it. Hey man, where's that report? Oh, it's right here, Mr. Johnson. Hey, where's this? Oh, hey, don't worry, I'm gonna have it right here. It's like, don't you know this is your job to do every day? Every day. Overwork. It's like time for dollars. When you're juggling so many hats, sometimes you gotta take the foot off the gas a little bit. Let things simmer. Right? Then you move forward. Tired, man. One day I think people will get it. One day. I ain't say today, but one day people will get it. I think somebody will understand exactly the point. No, it's a lot of different problems that people go through in life. You know, it's just been a hindrance. And because it's been a hindrance, you know, it never really meticulously came to a situation that was beneficial to all other parties involved. No. See, they don't send out notifications properly. They do all kind of sneaky, deceptive practices to try to make it say, "Oh, the people just don't want to see your videos," and you know that's almost like an insult. So you have to pick and choose your poison on what you want to fight. Like I've cut down on a lot of live streams that I do. To do some more uploads now, like I used to. Because live streams take up a lot of your time. Like a lot of your time. So you kind of want to have that balance. Well, that's just it. Tired, man. Tired of people, tired of situations, tired of trying to help people that don't want to help themselves. You just get exhausted from like every single day, every single thing. It's just like, really, are we doing this week? Everybody's just worn out, tired. Like, I'm tired, worn out, burning the candle on both ends, just completely drained. So when you're completely drained, you are like dangling on a vine, right? And you're trying to find your way into a figure eight. Now you're dangling, and you're hoping somebody grabs your ankles and say, "Hey, it's gonna be all right. We got you." That's what you're hoping. The whole time you're dangling, that somebody out there's got your back. I've made it quite prevalent for people who didn't have a lot of protection, didn't have a lot of people looking out for them. I made it prevalent for them to do the things that they do. Like, if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have a lot of the things that they had today. But I didn't dangle it out over their head and say, "Hey, you owe me." But they owe me, you know? So you try not to, rub it in people's face. But you do want them to know, like, "Hey, dude, slow your roll." You owe. But to walk around every day like you don't, it's quite disrespectful. Now, I understand you got problems, or your money is not as fluent as it used to be, or whatever. That's something you could talk out with the person you owe. I had a person get mad at me because they say I didn't help them when they didn't try to help themselves. That was the weirdest one. I'm like, that just don't make sense. Because I'm like, they didn't try to help themselves. Why would they be mad at me? How did their problem become my problem? But here's one thing. These guys actually got an approval to do like a podcast show on the internet, right? They got arrogant. Guy gave them $2,000 to get started. He wanted them to go ahead and rebuild some other stuff. And he was telling them, "Hey, I got you. Like, don't worry about it. You good. Here's the 2,000 up front to get the setup, get the camera." Dude was like, "All right," he invested. Then they got another homeboy to do it. And because I wasn't interested, the dude thought I was in it. And because I guess they went and pitched me to sell him on the idea that they were going to have me involved. I never agreed to do it because I told him, like, "Look, man, I ain't going to have time. But I'll pop up on your thing, if you got something cracking, you got something going, like, I'll pop up and help you out, like, It's only right, right? So I thought this was a good thing, right? I don't think they saw it that way. hmm So I thought this was a good thing for them. I'll just pop up. That way it's yours. I'm not trying to come in and debo something that's yours. Because I've seen people do that. They come on somebody's show, but because they got a big name, they take over the show. And be like, well, this is kind of my show, so I'm going to hold you hostage. Basically saying, like, if I don't get X, Y, and Z, I'm out. And then you're stuck because your show got to end because the guy who's the bigger name on the show is going to walk away. And now you're stuck, especially if you're not the one that's strong on the mic. And that's what happened to them. They had a couple of shows. It wasn't picking up and taking off. Wasn't going anywhere because they had no motion. Their motion was slow motion. That's the only motion they had was slow motion. And I knew the fact of what they were going through. They thought about throwing me on there. That's going to break the internet or something. And it's like, no, it don't work that way. I got on there and their numbers was better than what they had prior. But it's different, bro. It's different. You can't just magical wand this shit. You gonna have to put some work in. And a lot of people like, nah, I just want to do it like, Ocho and Shannon Sharp. It's like, dog, that's Ocho and Shannon Sharp. You're not Ocho and you're not Shannon Sharp. You didn't play in the NFL. Nobody knows you except for people in your hood. Wake up to reality, dog. It's not gonna just work and pop off like that. I seen these guys though, they got it, they little thing going in, they had like 100,000 views. I was like, cool, go link up with them, see what they're doing, and then you get them to do it, and you get the 100,000 views. Okay, you knock it out the park. Go ahead. You go. You do that. I'll be over here, but you do that. See how it goes. And then let me know. Sometimes you have to bring people to reality in order for them to see the light. But it don't go the way they plan. Nothing really do. It's how you adjust to it after it doesn't go the way you plan. I didn't plan to do hip-hop videos. I was doing all boxing. That's what I planned. Talk boxing. Have my boxing channel. Here we go. Boxing. Then people wanted to hear about the hip-hop side. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I started talking to them, and then everybody started coming over. I said, okay, well, I guess they don't want to hear about boxing. They just want to hear about hip-hop stuff. Cool. So it never went as planned. But I like the way it went. But it was all genuine. That's the key. So if you're a content creator, don't get discouraged because you feel burnt out. You're going to get burnt out at times. And some days you're going to have to just take a loss. Just say, hey man, I need to rest. I need to recharge my battery. You're going to have to do that. Because it's better than you putting out a crap video that does nothing, that don't go nowhere, don't mean nothing to you, that has zero replay value. You don't want that. And you'd be like, man, I was so burnt out in that video. Oh, it was terrible. You don't want that for yourself. You know. So make sure you're not that person. But anyway, I'm out. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life, Ticket TV. Welcome to HDII TV Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Don't forget to go to my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. And I'm out.